Okay. Okay. Dr. Mahendra Mahajan, firstly, thank you for being here. And when Amay told me about you, the first thing he told me was there's this man, he's gone cycling from Gateway of India to Kathmandu. I was like, wow, that is insane. And then he was like, और उधर से he went to Everest summit. I was like, that is crazy. So how did this start for you? Like this craze to, pursue all these endurance feats?
It just happened naturally, actually. I mean, till the time I was doing my graduation or post graduation, even post graduation, I was not very serious about fitness and all.
Mhm.
So it was like leisure, कभी gym कर लिया, कभी थोड़ा run कर लिया, ऐसा ही था. So when I came back to Nashik, and in fact my elder brother, he was lot into trekking and rock climbings, and he had done basic and advanced mountaineering course and all. And so we are in a joint family. So he used to go for a run and this thing. So obviously it had an impact on me.
Mhm.
So the basic purpose was to stay fit and
Okay.
stay healthy, right?
Mhm.
फिटनेस के लिए फिटनेस अच्छा रहे, अपना हेल्थ अच्छा रहे, उसके लिए ये सब चीजें शुरू किया. So naturally, when you are in a dormant phase for a lot of years,
Mhm.
it is difficult. It is not difficult in the sense it is painful initially
Mhm.
when you start doing some
To
activity.
make that shift.
Yeah, to make that shift, and that shift should be very gradual and like baby steps
Mhm.
for whoever who is going to start doing it after a after a pause of so many years, like
Yeah.
right, you're active till your 10th standard, and after that I was inactive for maybe 10, 12, 15 years.
Mm.
And then we decided, like, we are also a member of Kalpataru Foundation, and we used to go for medical camps and all.
Mhm.
So instead of going in car, we thought, let's go by bicycle.
Mhm.
Let's try it out. So for everybody who starts cycling in Nashik, I think Trambak Road is very scenic, very beautiful in monsoon and all.
Yes. Yes.
So the primary intention first, the goal was like we should at least go to Trimbakeshwar and come back.
Mhm.
So going was good enough, but while on the way back, it was very, very tiring since it was the first time.
This was back in which
This
year?
was in year 2000, around 10, 11,
Okay.
right? So initially that was painful, but then next week again we repeated the activity.
Mhm.
So our body has got immense capabilities to repair, heal, and become a better athlete, right? Physically or whatsoever. So next time when we went, it wasn't that painful,
Mhm.
and third time it was enjoyable, right? So you initially when you start, things are painful, but surely if we are consistent, they become pleasurable and they become more doable. And at the same time, this Mumbai marathon started in happening in Bombay. So Hitendra was already running, and I mean, my first run was a full marathon. I mean, I had never done a
42
5K,
kilometers.
5K, 10K, 21K. I directly enrolled into the full marathon Mumbai.
Were you scared going into it? Like,
I
मैं पूरा
was,
कर पाऊंगा कि नहीं on these
yeah.
lines? ऐसा
Before that,
question नहीं था?
just a little bit about the physical activity. Right from 2003, when I completed my post graduation, we used to do one Himalayan trek in a year,
Mhm.
and that used to be little strenuous, like high altitude, in the range of 15,000 to 20,000 feet. So either Himachal, Uttaranchal, we used to go for 10 to 15 days, and these were quite demanding
Yes, yes.
treks. So naturally, you remain dormant, and then when you want to go for a trek, you start. We have beautiful hills around us, Pandavlini, Chambarlini. We used to carry weight and do the training. So trekking was happening. It was not that nothing was happening, but that was very limited. Not a year-long activity. So then, as I said, around 2010-11, it was cycling and running, both of them. We started doing it. And when I was training for my first full marathon, actually, uh, injuries are bound to happen. And as I said, we should be a little slow. This is
Which you weren't.
which I wasn't actually. So I used to reach up to 10, 12, 14 kilometer mark, and my knee used to hurt.
Mhm.
But gradually, after alternate day or twice, thrice in a week, then that pain wanes off. Like,
Mm.
right, you do strength training for that, and one fine day I realized that both knees are not paining anymore. So
But then to push yourself even when you know कि आज body sore है and then अगले दिन you still show up for that.
no, no,
How did that
no,
happen?
no, it should not be done ugly din. Actually,
Okay.
you should at least rest for 2 days. Let that thing see. These are all micro traumas.
Mhm.
So there is going to be an inflammation. So let it heal and repair. Once it heals and repair after say 3-4 days or so, and one should listen to your body, right? If it is hurting too much, then you should seek medical advice, do proper physiotherapy and rehabilitation, and then do the activity. For me, it was like I wasn't that. I mean, I had that maturity
Mm.
to at least assess that yeah, it is start when it starts hurting, we used to stop. So don't unnecessarily prolong कि आज इतना 20 करना है किलोमीटर नहीं, 13-14 पे पेन हो रहा है, ठीक है, रुक जाओ, 2-3 दिन हील होने दो, फिर 2-4 दिन के बाद फिर करने की कोशिश करो. सो ये मैच्योरिटी होना जरूरी है टू
अच्छा.
प्रिवेंट फ्रॉम irreparable injuries.
This is true for the shorter versions, like suppose अभी आपने जो बोला 42 kilometer runs, and is it also true for the 6,000 kilometer quadrilateral cycling event that you've done? Like, does it apply in both cases?
Yes, it applies, but let me tell you one very basic difference between cycling and running.
Okay.
Is cycling, we say, is a semi-weight bearing exercise,
Mm.
right? Whereas running is a purely weight bearing exercise.
True.
Every time you run, you are hitting your knees, ankle, whatever.
Mhm.
Whereas in bicycle, we usually use a geared bicycle, so there is a ratio. So there is an uphill climb, you shift the ratio in a way that you can spin and you can climb it. So you need not, this is very less traumatic exercise.
Mm.
So cycling that way, one is not that much injury prone
Okay.
as in running. And let me tell you, there are fantastic examples, like who can do cycling. I know of a person who is 86-year-old and does 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers cycling daily. I know of a person who is, I can cite their examples also. Like
Mm.
there's this Dr. Bhupendra Arya is based in Nagpur, and he celebrated his 80th birthday. And after celebrating his 80th birthday on the next weekend, he cycled for 300 kilometers, right? And that too not in a leisurely, like it has to be done in 20 hours.
Oh.
So it is time bound. So 80-year-old person, but he, throughout his life, he was into fitness, running and everything. So, and there is this Dr. Krishnakant Guzar, who is 86-year-old, who stays in Baramati, as well as whenever he goes to US to meet his son, there also he cycles, right? There is this one guy, 110 kg guy,
Mm.
who does 200, 300 kilometer cycling. See, 110 kg guy cannot run.
Mm.
Cannot run in the sense, it is not impossible, but it is
Taxing on the body.
taxing on the body, yeah. But he can cycle for 200, 300 kilometers in time-bound events. So cycling is such a fantastic activity. Like, for varied age group, varied weight group can do it without being going into an injury phase, right?
Okay. So
So
suppose
that is basic difference between running and cycling.
okay, suppose I were to run a 42 kilometer marathon,
Right.
and I were to do a 100 kilometer cycling event. What would the recovery time be for both events? How long would it take for me to recover?
Yeah, you will recover faster for a 100 kilometer cycling.
Oh.
Like I usually do on a weekend in 3.5 hours, 100 kilometer, I'm back. And next day I'm working and everything. I mean, it is very normal. But if I run 42, yes, I have to at least, for a week.
Mm.
It again depends on individual's fitness, how fast that person is going to recover. That
Acha.
basic variation is definitely there. It cannot be a generalized rule. But then 42 kilometer running definitely is more traumatic, and you need to, recover and rest. And, after a week or so, you can do passive stretching and all. right? And then gradually start your running phase.
Okay. And the Guinness Book of World Record that you have your name mentioned in it, it was for a run only from Leh to Manali, I guess. How long is that distance?
There are two Guinness World Record which I hold.
Okay.
Right. The one is one you mentioned is
Okay.
Leh Manali on foot journey, fastest journey on foot
Okay.
from Leh to Manali, and that I did just last year, July, at the age of 46. Yeah. So actually, I came to know that Guinness are a little bit reluctant in permitting a new record, right?
Okay.
So if you suggest them something like, I'll do Bombay to Delhi cycling, so they'll straight away reject it. Like you have to give a valid reason why it
You're
should be
doing it.
taken, and a lot of persuasion goes, and then they accept a new route, right? Or a new thing that you are suggesting. They usually 99% they don't entertain. So Kashmir to Kanyakumari, when I applied, I was the first person to do it, but I came to know that 2-3 people were also pursuing for it. And similarly, talking about Leh Manali, I came to know that one girl, she had run the distance in 6.5 days. So I said, wow. So I thought it is quite doable. And being a male, I thought I'll be given around 5 days or so. Still, I thought it is doable in a 5 days or so. But then Guinness treats the male and the female category differently. I was given 8 days, which were more than enough. I was prepared for 5 days. So that's roughly 430 kilometers by road if you go through the tunnel, right? And through the tunnel, when I mean there are 4 major passes on the route actually. So the Tanglang lies around 17,600, and the other ones like Nakila, Lachungla, Barla-Chala, they are also in the range of 15.5 or so. Whereas Rohtang pass now has a tunnel in it, so you need not climb this thing. So it is 430 kilometers by road. If you take a little bit of trails, you can cut it down to 400 kilometers, right? Because Ghat will have a loops when you're, but a trail you can directly go up or come down on it.
But that is still a lot. Like for a 5-day journey,
for a 5-day journey, for
that's an average of 80 kilometers.
80 kilometers per day. So first day I clocked around 91 kilometers.
Okay.
First day one, that was day one, and then I slept for 4 hours or so. And then next day I climbed the Tanglang.
How does one recover from a 4-hour sleep after running a 90 kilometer on the previous day?
Right. Now, see, one thing is very, you need to understand that when you're training, you do intense short trains.
Okay.
Right. So the maximum I would have run before attempting this was 35 kilometers. I never ran for 70, 80 kilometers. So you run for shorter distances, 10, 20, 30, right? But when you're doing something very long, you need not even run. You got my point?
No, I didn't get it.
No. So say 90 kilometers.
Okay.
If you walk, right? If you walk, brisk walk, you can do 5 kmph per hour. Right? Brisk walk, not the leisure one. So you walk for 18 hours.
Okay.
If you run for initial 40 kilometers and then start walking, it will start hurting. So you never stretch yourself when you are doing very long things. You do it at a lower pace and for more number of hours. Right? See, if I can run 10K in 50 minutes, if I have to run 42 kilometers, don't go with that pace.
Okay.
Go with a lower pace. A simple rule for that is whatever optimum or maximum fast you can go, both for cycling as well as running, right? So that is called FTP, like functional threshold power. In case in cycling, you do a 20 minutes or in 1 hour all out effort, right? So there are devices such as power meter, which will calculate your output, your power output, right? Now, when you're doing a long activity, you just exert 66 to 70% of that.
Okay.
Right. So if you can, fastest you can go for 1 hour is 30 kmph, for example. Never exceed 20 kmph when you are doing a very long in the sense, day in, day out effort. You can sustain.
But then what was the feeling like post that 90 kilometer run? Like what was the fatigue like?
There is definitely bound to be fatigue. See, during when I did 400 kilometers in 5 days. Yes, after day one also there is fatigue. But then, since it was slow jog or walk most of the time, it was never a run. It was never a run at the speed which I can do.
Okay.
It was never that, right? So I started around 6 o'clock in the morning. I continued till 12 in the night, with definitely some short stretching breaks and all.
Okay.
Food was mostly on the go. You take a recovery drink, sleep off, and then get up. First day, it's a little difficult actually. 4 o'clock getting up again and starting the activity. But as the day progresses, it becomes, routine. Like on day 2, day 3, and day 4, I clocked around 70 kilometers, not more than that. But I remember very nicely, like when I completed my 4th day, 96 kilometers were remaining.
Okay.
So I thought it is not doable in one day now. Now it is the 5th day already. There is bit of soreness at the ankle and there are small blisters and all. So I slept an hour more that day. So instead of getting up at 4, I got up at 5 and we started the jog and the walk at 6 o'clock, thinking that it won't be possible for me to. But then from Leh to Manali, when you come, your altitude decreases. There's a lot of greenery.
Okay.
So the oxygen level increases. And then I became feeling more energetic. And then I did the whole 96 kilometer stretch.
In one go.
But that was almost 20 hours effort. From Darcha, there is a place called Darcha to Manali. And of course, I actually, there was some miscalculation in the sense that through the tunnel, there is no permission to walk. But then they gave me a permission. So that permission took 1.5 hours. I mean, it got delayed. And when I came out at other end of the tunnel, why I'm talking about tunnel for walking, see, 9 kilometers tunnel, you will walk for 2 hours and you will see the same tunnel for 2 hours. So when I came out of the tunnel, it was raining heavily.
Achha.
So imagine Manali, night, rain. So how cold it must be. So then I thought, it's just 20 kilometers remaining. Let's walk for 4 hours. So I took it in the positive way. Like a thought, ऐसा भी होता है, ऐसा लगता है कि छोड़ दो, अभी रुक जाओ, गाड़ी में सो जाओ, बाद में निकलते हैं.
वो एक जब वो मोमेंट आता है कि जब when you want to stop, like recently हमने एक cold shower किया था and cold bath किया था, sorry, तो वहाँ ice okay, we just wanted to sit in it, and as soon as you go inside, there's that voice that starts speaking, get out, stop. How do you stop that voice?
See, endurance activities, be it long cycling or running, these are painful. These are never pleasurable. I mean,
yes.
And it is the motivation, how badly you want to do that thing, right? That determination has to be very, very strong, right?
Your why?
मुझे मनाली का record करना है, मुझे 5 दिन में करना है, right? So that thought has to be very, very strong, imbibed in your mind, body, soul, whatever, so that you ignore and there has to be a positivity around it. अगर आप ऐसे सोचते हो कि मुझे 400 किलोमीटर चलना है, 400 किलोमीटर चलना है, किसी ने दिया हुआ काम अगर सोचोगे आप, मुझे किसी ने करने को बोला है ऐसा, फिर नहीं होगा. मैं ऐसा सोचता था कि मुझे 5 दिन का ब्रेक मिल रहा है, मुझे जो हिमालय में what I like to do, to walk in the nature, to do a trek, to be with nature, to see beautiful peaks, snow, greenery. I'm going to enjoy that for 5 days. It is such. I've got an opportunity to do a 400 kilometer long trek. See, the positivity of your mind determines how you take it. Then you ignore your aches and pains.
True. But then how do you put yourself in that mindset कि अभी normal कोई average individual है, he will never think on the lines कि I want to do something like this. Then what makes you different that way? कि why do you want to put yourself in situations like that?
Actually, an average individual should not think about these things before he trains.
Definitely, right. For that matter, they shouldn't think about it. But then, mindset-wise, what is different for you? Like, why do you take on these kind of impossible pursuits?
Because they look impossible. Because I always like to challenge myself. Right? Now you must be reading that somebody has done Everest 21 times, 25 times. These guys have been just consistent with their fitness. They had started doing it at the age of 20, and now they are in 45, 50, my age, and they are still doing it. So that consistency is what matters. And I do these things even because, as I said, I definitely love to do the first thing. I like to challenge myself, and probably that is how I am able to maintain my fitness throughout the year. Human being inherently is little, हर किसी में वो थोड़ा जो आलस होता है ना, वो हर किसी में होता है. तो लेकिन अगर आपके पास कोई टारगेट है कि मुझे फुल मैराथन भागना है, मुझे कुछ 200 किलोमीटर साइकिलिंग करना है, मुझे ये इवेंट करना है, वो इवेंट करना है, तो साल भर में आप अगर 3-4 इवेंट्स में एनरोल करते हो खुद को, आयरन मैन करना है, राइट, वॉट एवर इट इज, सो आप एनरोल करते हो तो यू एफर्ट्स डालना चाहिए, राइट. हम महाजन ब्रदर्स का, मैं हूँ, मेरा भाई हो या ओम है, हमारा सक्सेस रेट मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम 100% रहा है, राइट. क्यों? इसका रीजन ये है कि इफ यू कमिट योर सेल्फ देन यू शुड नॉट लुक बैक. यू शुड पुट दो सिंसियर एफर्ट्स इन ट्रेनिंग. ये करना है, इस बार ही करना है, एवरेस्ट चढ़ना है, एक ही अटेम्प्ट में करना है, और बाद में फिर नहीं करना है ये, राइट, कि नेक्स्ट टाइम देखेंगे, अगर हुआ नहीं तो ठीक है, हुआ नहीं तो ऐसा थॉट आना ही नहीं चाहिए,
No plan
करना
B.
ही. या सो द स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉजिटिव फ्रेम ऑफ माइंड एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग द चैलेंजेस ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर एक्सपीडिशन. उसके चैलेंजेस क्या है? मुझे एवरेस्ट क्लाइम करना है, मैं यहाँ 25 किलो का वेट डाल के यहाँ के माउंटेन्स क्लाइम करूंगा.
बट आपने कोई एक्लेमेटाइजेशन किया था क्या उसके पहले?
करना ही पड़ता है एवरेस्ट के लिए, तो डेफिनेटली एवरेस्ट इज 1.5 मिनिमम 1.5 मंथ्स का टाइम पीरियड होता है. आपको कोई एजेंसी भी लेके जाती है तो उसी प्लान से लेके जाती है,
Okay.
राइट. यू स्टार्ट एट द फर्स्ट वीक ऑफ अप्रैल एंड यूजुअली द समिट्स आर इन मिड मे. So 1.5 months are required for acclimatization. So before you reach a base camp, you climb a peak of around 6,100 meters. We climb that island peak before going to 5,300. So again, you do rotations, like आपने सुना होगा कि you go at camp 2, camp 3, again come back at base camp, again go to camp 2, camp 3, come back at base camp, recover. So, and the last is a summit push. So acclimatization is required. That is the time required for your body to produce red blood cells, which will carry that oxygen.
To be able to adapt to that environment.
Yeah, because oxygen pressure decreases as you go on a higher altitude, and you require more and more your RBCs to carry that oxygen to your lungs. Right. So acclimatization is must.
Also, you mentioned a lot about your crew and how important that crew has been for you.
Right.
So a little on that, wherever you want to take it. Like how do your brothers, does your team help you along this journey?
Usually the crew should be, he should be your best friend, right? And you should have an emotional attachment. Both of you, the crew and the rider, should have an emotional attachment for each other. Why? Because for the crew also, it is not a picnic.
Yes.
Right. If you think you are going to ride behind me a car, when I'm cycling, see, riding a car at the speed of 20, 30 and keeping that vigilance and alertness not to hit your own rider, right? अपने साइक्लिस्ट को ही कहीं ये ना हो जाए, वो अलर्टनेस, वो स्लीप डिप्रिवेशन, एंड उसको पानी चाहिए, कुछ खाने को देना है, ये करना है, दैट एंथुजियाज्म हैज टू बी देयर कि मुझे इसको हेल्प करना है ये अचीव करने के लिए. द क्रू शुड बी ऑल्सो दैट मच कमिटेड एज द राइडर इज टुवर्ड्स द गोल, राइट? दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, एंड दिस कैन हैपन, दिस योर फ्रेंड्स कैन ओनली डू इट फॉर यू. कैन नॉट हायर अ पर्सन कि डू दिस जॉब फॉर मी, ये नहीं हो सकता है, right? And as I said, the commitment of the crew also plays an important role. So all through our, say, be it race across America or Kashmir to Kanyakumari cycling or Everest expedition, so all these crew members were our friends. First priority is friends. Then it is a good quality if they can drive a 4-wheeler. It is a good quality if they can repair my bicycle, right? So multiple. It is a good quality if you can give some massage, right? Those are accessory things, accessory qualities, which will make them, more helpful for a rider to achieve towards the goal.
So the first one is emotional attachment.
Yeah.
That's true for, I feel, every aspect of life.
Correct.
कि आपको जहाँ भी हो, you need that group of strong brothers,
Right.
wherever you are going.
Exactly.
And वो उसी से ऐसे you start pursuing these big challenges, and it gets easier. That journey gets easier when you have people pushing you to do better.
Right.
Like I saw
You
one,
can chat, you can, crack jokes. We usually have this Bluetooth device.
yeah, I saw
on the
one of
helmet,
that
yeah,
video
yeah.
where Om was cycling, and you were like going to shout on him कि आता downhill है. If you don't speed up, I'm going to kick your ass. And
Yeah,
you
exactly.
need such individuals in your life, क्योंकि इंसान को ना उसके पोटेंशियल की परख नहीं होती है जब तक वो ऐसे लोगों के साथ नहीं रहता है जो उसको वहां तक लेके आए. एंड
Correct.
वो लोग तुम्हारे आसपास चाहिए एट ऑल पॉइंट्स इन लाइफ. आई एम श्योर इट्स द सेम फॉर द
Exactly.
पीपल अराउंड यू.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. In one of your lines, you've said that I'm preparing myself for the sleep deprivation and the suffering. And like, how do you do that? To chase that pain, to chase that discomfort. What is that for you?
Uh, Sleep deprivation, you cannot prepare that for that, or you should not prepare for that, because ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि आप ट्रेनिंग के ड्यूरिंग या जब आप ट्रेनिंग कर रहे हो तब मैं 3 घंटा सोता हूँ सिर्फ. ऐसा नहीं करने का. ट्रेनिंग के वक्त इंटेंस ट्रेनिंग करने का, खाने का, सोने का. और जब टारगेट ही ऐसे लेने के जो स्लीप डिप्रिवेशन के बगैर होते नहीं है. Like all these challenges, like Kashmir to Kanyakumari, whether I was doing it or Om was doing it, these challenges are not possible if you sleep leisurely. They are so demanding, actually.
Yeah.
When Om was pedaling, he pedaled around 440 kilometers per day. So the luxury, I mean, sleeping is a luxury in such events. So, and let me tell you one thing, like when you are committed or when you are determined to do that, even a 3 hours of deep sleep is good enough. You will wake up on your own.
Achha, the quality of sleep is very...
Yeah, you're so tired.
What do you...
And after 3 hours, most of the time, you will wake up on your own. Sometimes sometimes you need to wake up. I mean, woken up by the crew members. But most of the time, that is what biological clock sets in, I don't know. Or
I think that goal is so strong.
so strong, yeah.
वो अपने आप your body wakes up.
Right. It is a wonderful sentence by our Abdul Kalam ji. The dreams are those that don't let you sleep. Dreams are not those which you see in your sleep. Right.
Nice. Okay. And I've observed one thing, like when we are doing our physical pursuits, हम suppose workout कर रहे हैं, कुछ कर रहे हैं. So when we are doing something very, very intensive, that mental noise and the chatter in your brain, वो अपने आप ही शांत हो जाता है. तुम जितने भी ये चीजें करो. So why is that? Why does that happen? Like I'm sure it must happen for you as well. Like after your 5-day suppose run or a very long cycling event, do you feel the difference in your mental frame?
Yeah, definitely. After completion, there's a sense of gratification, sense of satisfaction that is there. And this is very important for your own survival, or your own, to have that confidence or a sense of fulfillment, achievement is very important. And when you're doing intense workout, basically you're putting all your physical energies, you're concentrating on that. Suppose I'm climbing one ghat, and if I'm giving 100% of it, definitely all the focus, body, mind focus is on that intensity of activity. So definitely other things will get, your mind will not give importance to other things.
The form of meditation.
It's a form of meditation. And let me tell you one more very important aspect of endurance sports is that suppose if I'm doing cycling and my back is paining and my knee is paining, right? Two things are paining. And suppose something else starts hurting you, your mind cannot process all these three pains. So आपका एक पेन ऑटोमेटिकली कम हो जाता है.
अच्छा.
ये कई बार मैंने आई हैव एक्सपीरियंस्ड कि आपका फिर नी पेन चला जाता है या बैक पेन. आपको क्या है, इंटेंसिटी ऑफ माइंड कैसा परसीव करता है सारे सेंसेस को, कितना इंटेंस उसको इंपॉर्टेंस देता है. सो दूसरा कुछ दो इंटेंस हो गए तो तीसरा भूल जाता है वो. दिस हैज हैपेंड विथ मी. या
with the things that you said about the challenge, I recently saw a documentary about Nim's Dai. Have you heard about him?
Yeah.
He's a mountaineer from Everest.
Yes.
And like you said things on the same lines. He says कि life is very meaningless. You have to give meaning to it. तुम्हें ऐसे चीजें डालनी पड़ती है तुम्हें अंदर जहाँ तुम खुद challenges डालो. You overcome those challenges. You become a better person through those challenges, and then you feel good. You
Yeah.
feel that sense of satisfaction.
Right.
So is that why you pursue all of these things?
Yes, exactly. Otherwise, I mean, it would become tasteless. The life will become tasteless for me if I don't do these physical activities or don't take up these challenges. I feel they have become a part and parcel of my life. So even if after like maybe 3-4 years down the line, I might not take up that intense activities, but I'll surely will continue with the activities, right? So fitness के लिए करते रहना चाहिए, and this is true. I mean, for everyone it is required. जब तक हम जिंदा है तब तक हम खाना खाने वाले हैं, और जब तक खाना खाने वाले हैं तब तक एक्सरसाइज करनी ही चाहिए. You cannot. If you become lethargic, then you take one tablet for blood pressure, one for diabetes, एक thyroid, एक cholesterol, ये सब और टैबलेट्स पे जीते हैं. फिर आपको टैबलेट्स पे जीना है या फिट रह के जीना है, ये हमको तय करना है, राइट? एंड एवरीबडी नीड्स एन एक्सरसाइज. थोड़ा जेनेटिक्स आपको काम आ सकता है, आपका लॉन्गिविटी अच्छी रह सकती है, पर ऑल दिस थिंग्स मतलब लेथार्जी, sedentary lifestyle, weight gain is the culprit to all diseases.
Well, yeah, in the last 40 odd years, what has changed? Our sleeping patterns, what we have eaten, that has changed. Our stress levels and our exercise. ये चारों चीजें अब खराब हुई है. वैसे ही ये सारे जो अलग डिजीजेज है, डायबिटीज हो गया, कैंसर हो गया, बाकी जो भी लाइफस्टाइल डिसऑर्डर्स है, they've increased because we've stopped focusing on these things.
Two more things which has increased with this thing is stress also.
Yeah.
Now nothing is easy. It is not easy to earn. There is more competition that is there, and the food we are eating, so many pesticides are being used.
Yeah.
So all the more reasons, these two reasons, like compared to our fathers or forefathers, like we need to be more physically active to sustain all those things. Yeah.
So you being a doctor, do you feel that as in the lines on which major doctors work, as in there's no promotion on lines of lifestyle, no promotion on lines of fitness, ki you should be fit, you should work on your lifestyle. It's always about giving them pills. It's always about popping pills for any issue that you have.
Right.
Do you see that?
Yeah. But the things are changing now. Things are changing. There is more awareness coming into play. Even if I'm a dentist, I usually see overweight people and then talk about these things also to them. I try to counsel them.
And that is a big.
Yeah. So, but now if you see, if there is a marathon being held, there are 2,000, 2,500 people going for it. So slowly the things are changing, and it is not that like nowadays with so much of exposure to information that we have, why should one wait for doctor to tell you, right? So we all know the importance. It is the basically lethargy or a very sad statement people make is I don't have time. मेरे पास टाइम ही नहीं है. तो तू जी क्यों रहा है? अगर तू खुद के लिए तेरे पास टाइम नहीं है तो तू किसके लिए अर्न कर रहा है, क्यों भाग रहा है, क्या कर रहा है? मतलब ट्राई टू असेस दैट. मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है, ये इससे खराब सेंटेंस आप कोई बोल ही नहीं सकते हो खुद के बारे में. सो प्रायोरिटी इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इफ यू डोंट प्रायोरिटाइज थिंग्स, दे विल नेवर हैपन. तो एक काफी बार मैं ये बोलता हूँ कि हम सब रात को अपना काम खत्म करने के बाद 1 घंटा जो सोशल मीडिया पे बिताते हैं ना, वो अगर नहीं बिताए, 1 घंटा जल्दी सोए, 1 घंटा जल्दी उठे, और वो 1 घंटा खुद के शरीर के लिए, खुद के फिटनेस के लिए, खुद के हेल्थ के लिए अगर हम दे, तो things can be very different.
But then I said that is the easy part. Now that is what makes you different from other people. कि ऐसे लोगों को वो instant gratification मिल जाता है, चाहे सोशल मीडिया से हो या फिर उनकी जो भी एक्टिविटीज हो, and then the urge to go out there and pursue something, to do that, वो that just vanishes because वो already मिल गया उनको like कोई और सोर्स से. What should one like वो जोन में आने के लिए क्या करना चाहिए किसी भी इंडिविजुअल?
एक्चुअली कई बार ना ये चीजें एक्सरसाइज करना ये पेनफुल लगता है, विच कैन बी ट्रू विथ स्ट्रेंथ ट्रेनिंग एंड ऑल, But with cardiac training, like if we say swimming, running, or cycling, if we take these three common cardiac activities, for example, outdoor activities, see, outdoor has its own fun, right? Choose a trail which is a little bit scenic around the river, right? And these activities, as I said, initially they are little painful, but go on repeating it, and slowly they become really enjoyable. There's then the 5K run, the 10K run, you feel very nice after doing it. You don't feel tired or fatigued. In fact, activities in moderation will keep you more alert and more agile throughout your day. You will be more enthusiastic to work. So that definitely that advantage or that change you will definitely see. This is I'm appealing to everybody that do this activity, and you will see the change in your own. You will become more energetic. You will perform your daily routines much more in a better way. You'll feel good about yourself. That is also very important. Like all these like if you talk in medical terminology, there are happy hormones that get released,
Yes, yes.
the dopamine, serotonin, right? So you really feel very great by doing these cardiac activities. And only cardiac will also not help, because you need to have a strength training to prevent injuries and to be able to do all the things properly here.
लोगों का यही पर्सपेक्टिव होता है ना कि वो थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट पार्ट है कि व्हाई डू वी पुश आवरसेल्व्स देयर, क्योंकि हमको सब मिल रहा है ऑलरेडी. हाउ डू वी मेक दैट शिफ्ट फॉर समवन दैट इज स्टार्टिंग आउट न्यू? हाउ शुड दे स्टार्ट ऑन देयर जर्नी?
Right, that is what I said. I mean, initially they are these things are painful, but if you go on doing it, they become pleasurable. First thing, and oh, what was the question? Sorry, I didn't.
ऐसे नो, हाउ शुड वन टेक दैट फर्स्ट स्टेप कि आज कैसे करना है?
Yeah, very important is start with baby steps. राइट, डोंट थिंक कि मैंने कितना किलोमीटर साइकिल चलाना चाहिए. मुझे 15 मिनट साइकिल चलाना अच्छा लग रहा है तो 15 मिनट ही करो. 2 हफ्ता वो ही करो. जल्दी मत. डोंट बी इन अ हरी टू डू लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स और लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस करूंगा, जल्दी करूंगा. आप कुछ चीज ज्यादा करने जाओगे, पेन होगा, 5 दिन बैठोगे घर पे, लोग आपको बोलेंगे क्यों कर रहा है, दे विल डिमोटिवेट यू. वेयर एज 15 मिनट ही करो साइकिलिंग. मुझे भी पूछते लोग क्या स्पीड से करना चाहिए, क्या स्पीड से. अरे हर एक का अलग अलग है, हर एक की बॉडी अलग अलग है, हर एक का टारगेट अलग अलग है. 15 मिनट कर फॉर 15 डेज, उसके बाद 20 मिनट कर 15 दिन के लिए, राइट. सो उस 15 दिन में क्या होगा, तेरी बॉडी उस पर्टिकुलर एक्टिविटी को अडेप्ट हो जाएगी. हर 15 दिन के बाद थोड़ा थोड़ा चेंज कर. वो भी तुझे लगता है कि आगे करना चाहिए. और एक सर्टन लेवल के बाद मैं बताता हूँ, जब कोई आदमी 50 किलोमीटर साइकिल करने लग जाता है ना, तो उसको 100 कोई एक्टिविटी होती है आजू बाजू में. जैसे अपने नासिक में भी एनआरएम होती है 80 किलोमीटर्स की. जो 80 कर लेता है ना, उसको 100 करने की इच्छा होती है. बाद में इट इज वेरी इजी टू पुश योरसेल्फ.
वंस यू गेट दैट मोमेंट,
इनर्शिया पहले रहता है. इसको मुझे हिलाना है ना, ये गाड़ी को धक्का मारना है, तो शुरुआत में ज्यादा ताकत लगने वाली है. थोड़ा थोड़ा वो चलने लगेगी तो ताकत कम लगने वाला है. यही होने वाला है आपके फिटनेस के साथ भी. आपको 80 से 100, 100 से 120, उसके बाद 200 करने लगोगे तो मेरे पास आओ. मैं ब्रेवेज कंडक्ट करता हूँ. 200, 300, 400, 600. अगले महीने हमारा 1200 का ब्रेवे है. 1200 किलोमीटर्स है, 90 आवर्स में कंप्लीट करने वाले हैं. और 4-6 महीने पहले मैंने 200 किलोमीटर का इवेंट रखा था नासिक में. से 88 पीपल पार्टिसिपेटेड. उसमें से 14 फीमेल्स थी, लेडीज थी, फीमेल्स नहीं, लेडीज थी, वर्किंग लेडीज या हाउस वाइफ्स इन द एज ग्रुप ऑफ 40. सारों ने कंप्लीट किया. 88 पीपल. सो डेफिनेटली बाद में आपको टारगेट्स आप देखते हो कि ये कर सकता है, वो क्यों कर सकता है, मैं क्यों नहीं कर सकता हूँ. ये खुद के अंदर आपको अर्ज आएगी, एंड यू विल रियली एंजॉय द प्रोसेस.
Also, is there any event now endurance wise where you are on the lines कि मैं सोचूंगा, like I'm a little fearful about this कि मैं can I do this or not? Are you in that zone now? Do you ever think about that?
Yeah, I am currently thinking about.
Okay, what is that?
Maybe during July, August, I am going to cycle Leh Manali, and I'm going to target breaking a Guinness World Record.
Okay.
Which is currently held by a youngster, which is 29 hours, 18 minutes.
Okay.
So I'm training for that.
That is great. Okay. How do you
So for this Guinness World Record attempt, I'm going to give my best. I'm not. I mean, the as I said, the positivity. I will have that frame of mind that I have to do it. But even if I'm not able to achieve that target, maybe I fall short. I'm not going to feel bad about it. Right?
This is so important.
Yeah.
कि लोग है ना बड़े ड्रीम्स आई गेस उसलिए नहीं देखते क्योंकि वो फियर ऑफ फेलियर है कि
हाँ.
मैं कर पाऊंगा कि नहीं, लोग क्या सोचेंगे मेरे बारे में.
Right.
दैट नेवर कंपेल्स देम टू टेक दैट फर्स्ट स्टेप.
अगर 29 घंटे 18 मिनट में नहीं कर पाओ, मुझे 30 घंटे लग गए, सपोज 30 आवर्स लग गए, तो वो मेरे लिए मेरा बेस्ट होगा ना, क्योंकि मैंने उतना फास्ट कभी की नहीं किया. तो खुद का रिकॉर्ड बनाओ ना, खुद के लिए रिकॉर्ड बनाओ.
And there are so many things you learn on that.
Yeah, and the process. See, I've spent 4 months. Now tomorrow Sunday, I'm going to do ghat climbs in the Amboli Ghat for 5 times. So that is keeping me motivated and fit for throughout the year. So that is the biggest, advantage of taking up such challenges.
No. Okay, how do
And
you...
one more thing I want to, like, when I said ki I'm going to accept it if I fail, but that tendency is not there in some people.
It is not in a lot of...
they start getting into cheating. अगर वो साइकिल में गाड़ी में बिठा के लेके गया थोड़े डिस्टेंस तो उसमें क्या, अरे मुझे नेक्स्ट डे मुझे जब मैं बोलूंगा कि मैंने ये किया है तो मुझ में वो उसका सेटिस्फेक्शन चाहिए. मैं जब आईने में देखूंगा कि मैंने ऐसे दुनिया को बोला है, मैंने झूठ बोला है, कैसे शर्म नहीं आती मुझे पता नहीं. बट देयर आर पीपल हु गेट इनटू दिस चीटिंग आल्सो. सो नेवर डू दैट. इट इज नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट. योर सिंसियर अटेम्प्ट इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट. Suppose if you fail this time, prepare well. Do it next time. And next time when you are able to achieve it, that memories, that fulfillment is going to remain with you throughout your life.
People are afraid to fail in general. Yeah, I think that's why as they cheat, suppose, or they don't take that first step.
Right.
That creates a wall around them, जिसकी वजह से वो उसके बाहर ही नहीं निकलते.
Right.
Okay. And I wanted to ask about how you balance your clinic, your practice, and your endurance training together.
Right, very important. Actually, after seeing our so many achievements, people feel whether we are working or not.
Yes, exactly. क्या आप 10-10 दिन 12-12 दिन जाते हो?
राइट. तो वो 10-10 12-12 दिन की जब मैं छुट्टी लेता हूँ ना, तो मैं साल भर कोई बड़ी छुट्टी नहीं लेता हूँ.
अच्छा.
मेरी लास्ट छुट्टी जो हुई है वो लेह मनाली रन के लिए हुई है, और अगले 2 महीने के बाद लेह मनाली साइकिलिंग के लिए होने वाली है. सो मैंने कोई बड़ा वेकेशन नहीं लिया है. मैं कहीं दुबई नहीं गया, मैं कहीं यूएस नहीं गया, मैं कोई इधर उधर घूमने नहीं गया. सो मैं आई सैक्रिफाइस ऑन दैट. उसके लिए वो बाद में करूंगा ना. राइट. अभी मुझे ये अच्छा लगता है तो अभी मैं ये करूंगा, तो इसके लिए छुट्टी ले रहा हूँ. राइट. एक वेकेशन जनरली लोग लेते हैं, तो मैं मेरा वेकेशन 10 दिन का ये कर लेता हूँ. फर्स्ट थिंग. सेकेंडली, आई हैव 2 डेंटल क्लिनिक्स. My one in Panchavati is around 19-year-old, and the next one I started in Gangapur Road a year back. So morning I am in Panchavati, evening I am in Gangapur Road, and apart from this, so I start my work at 10 o'clock, right? I get up at 6. So those 4 hours I have got to spend for myself, right? उसमें से मैं मेरी ट्रेनिंग मॉर्निंग के रिचुअल्स करके I go to my clinic. And again, when you are tired, you finish your work, come back home, eat, sleep, right? So आप बाकी का सोशलाइजिंग, बाकी का पार्टीज आप ज़्यादा नहीं करते हो, कम करते हो, राइट? तो ये उसके एडिशनल एडवांटेजेस है. सो ऐसे मुझे लगता है प्रोफेशन आप और आपका एक्टिविटीज बैलेंस कर सकते हैं.
You look more at peace also. Like अगर आप ये सब बाकी चीजें नहीं कर रहे हो ना, like from your face also you look very like composed. You look much younger than for you definitely do not look 46.
And my brother is an anesthesiologist.
Okay.
He's handling the anesthesia and the operation, all operatives in Ashoka Medicover.
Yeah.
So he's heading the department over there. So when we were doing RAM also, he was a freelance anesthesiologist. So कॉल किया और कॉल के बाद दोपहर को टाइम मिला तो दोपहर को जाके ट्रेनिंग करता था. ऐसा नहीं कि मॉर्निंग के ही में ही ट्रेनिंग होनी चाहिए. सो इट इज ऑल अबाउट प्रायोरिटीज, लाइक, एंड one can definitely balance your own profession and all these activities. Yeah.
Anything you would like to add from your end?
as we spoke, like very important thing is आप हम सब ने किसी भी एज ग्रुप में है 1 घंटा खुद के लिए देना चाहिए. खुद के लिए देना चाहिए यानी खुद के फिजिकल एक्टिविटी करना चाहिए ताकि you remain healthy. You can take care of somebody who is dependent on you, your family.
That is so important.
Right? You can do your profession in a more energetic way, and at the end of after your retirement, you should not be dependent on others. Right? आपने जब तक आपकी लाइफ है आपने खुद चल फिर के खुद के काम करने चाहिए. Right? That you should be able to do, and for that you have to make changes in your lifestyle. Right? And जैसे रोज खाना खाते हो रोज एक्टिविटी करना जरूरी है. एंड उसका बहुत अच्छा एडवांटेज यानी हर घर में आप देखोगे मोस्ट ऑफ द घर में जहाँ एल्डरली है 7-7, 8-8 गोलियां तो रोज खाते हैं बहुत लोग. तो वो मुझे गोली नहीं खाना है. अगर आपको गोली खा के नहीं जीना है और अच्छे से जीना है थ्रू आउट द लाइफ, so take up this activities. Yeah.
And things get very...
And it can be in moderation. थोड़ा बहुत करो. ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि
everyone has to do it.
Everybody has to do. आपको अगर लगता है मैं इतना लंबा कर सकता हूँ, लंबा भाग सकता हूँ, लंबा साइकिलिंग करना है, आपकी अंदर से इच्छा हो रही है तो कीजिए. नहीं हो रही है तो मॉडरेशन में भी एंजॉय करो. मतलब एंजॉय द एक्टिविटी एंड बाय प्रोडक्ट इज फिटनेस.
Like byproduct, I feel I don't think that byproduct fitness है. I think fitness is the core. एंड उसके बाय प्रोडक्ट में बाकी जो चीज़ें हैं तुम्हारे फैमिली के साथ रिलेशंस हो गए, तुम्हारे बाकी हेल्थ के एस्पेक्ट्स हो गए, योर वर्क एवरीवेयर, एंड मतलब थिंग्स स्टार्ट गेटिंग बेटर जब यहाँ पे चीज़ें अच्छी हो रही है. बिकॉज वो 1 घंटा सपोज आप स्ट्रेंथ ट्रेनिंग कर रहे हो या आप एंड्योरेंस ट्रेन कर रहे हो, आप खुद को ऐसी चीज़ें ट्रेन कर रहे हो जो आपको बाकी एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ लाइफ में काम आएंगी. आपका कंसिस्टेंसी हो गया, आपका वो पेन बैरियर के थ्रू पुश करने का टेंडेंसी हो गया. And all of these things reflect on every aspect of life.
Correct. These are all related. Yeah.
Okay. I feel we've covered almost everything.
Right.
Thank you for this, sir. It was really an honor talking to you. With the amount of events you've done all over the world, it's inspired us.